going down there. I thought 5-1 up here, they're going to be well up for revenge. We do them 3-1, aggregate 8-2. Can we play the buggers every week? That'll do for us, isn't it? What do you think? What was about the performance?
I'm with you. I would have taken a point going down there, especially when you look at their home record. Was it 17 unbeaten, 116 of them, formidable. But we played great. You know, I think the fortnight break that we had let us recharge the batteries. We got back to our best, that high press, good intensity, good pressure. Energy levels looked good. Tactically was brilliant. Defensively really sound. Everybody did their job. And it could have been more. You know, Sean Longstaff had a great chance right at the dead to make it 4-1. But Villa could have no complaints. They were second best all over the pitch on the night.
I mean, what I was pleased about, we won at Fulham, obviously, and we're still in the cup, and that's terrific. Performance wasn't particularly good down there,
no.
But right from the start, we looked energised. It looked as if we got the old Newcastle back.
Yeah, it did. I mean, the Fulham game, look, cup competitions, it's all about just getting through to the next round. It's not about performances. But when you looked at the Fulham performance and you thought Villa was up next, I honestly thought if we played the way we did it at Fulham, we would have got there. But as I say, on the night, from the manager straight down to everybody that was involved in the game, they got everything spot on, and it was an excellent performance. And if you play like that today, John, you know, even though Luton had a great result against Brighton on the same night, difficult to see us not winning today.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, everybody said to me afterwards when I was getting a bit carried away, you know, this is a match for us to win, etc., etc. They said, but did you see Luton 4-0 against Brighton? Said, who was expecting that? But I would say equally, which neutral would have forecast Villa 1, Newcastle 3?
Yeah, well, there were two coupon busters, that's for sure, you know. People who do the fixed odds, the Luton one would have definitely, you know, one or two black and whites would have put Newcastle in, but you know, it was I would have taken a point gladly and said, yeah, we'll accept the point. You know, if you don't want to play the game, we'll have a point to go home. But I think Luton will be different today because I think they'll go a little bit more direct. They're playing with two up front, two big boys. I think they'll look to hit them, get the ball in wide areas and get plenty of crosses into the box. So I'm not expecting them to play out from the back, which could cause us a problem because we like to play that high press.
Yes, we do.
They'll go, and I think they'll go long, look to play off that second ball, as I said, get it into wide areas, get crosses into the box with the two big boys.
You mentioned tactically us getting it right at Villa, and I think that was part of the secret. They play a high line, and we use a diagonal ball to the wingers, to Gordon in particular, right to left, dropping it behind their high line, and with the pace of Gordon, and Almo on the other end, it worked. It treated.
Yeah, Villa didn't change. You know, you're right. They played that high line. We put a high press on. We let them come at us. Went in over the top. Looked to use the pace of Murphy, Gordon, Isak when he was on, and it caused Villa all sorts of problems. They couldn't handle it. They didn't learn from it. They didn't change it. They just kept doing what they were doing. And as I say, on the night they could have had no complaints because we were by far the better side.
I think the other interesting thing for me, we've often said that, you know, dudes Newcastle get their tactics right on subs. We tend to go like for like. If Isak comes off, Wilson goes on. A winger comes off, another winger comes on. But second half, when they scored, both the subs on scored, were a little bit in the ascendancy, as all home teams must be. The new lad that come on, Bailey, was absolutely murdering Byrne, who had a good game, but he was getting murdered by Bailey's trickery. And we brought on Rumenko to get in there and be in his face and move Byrne inside in the 5. And it didn't kill it completely, but it nullified it to a great extent, John.
Yeah, Diaby was quiet on the night. He changed, he brought Bailey on, and he caused Dan Bourne one or two problems. He had quick feet, good balance. They've seen what was happening, they changed it, they brought Livramento on, who's a good athlete, quick, and moved Dan Bourne into play alongside the two centre-backs, went to three centre-backs. and that nullified it, you know, and basically said to Villa, well, you're going to have to play through us, and everything Villa did was too slow, you know, it just played in front of us all the time, gave us time to see the ball, so tactically, yeah, that was spot on. The game was virtually over at that time, but it was just to kill the game off, really.
I mean, I was pleased, I don't know about you guys, but considering Emery suddenly decided to tuck us up a couple of years ago and said, no, I'm not coming to Newcastle, I'm hoping that he's just had a few sleepless nights on an 8-2 aggregate scoreline, 6 points to the Mags and no points to the Villains.
Well, yeah, but it was a big game for a couple of reasons, really, John, because if Villa had won, they'd have gone 17 points clear of us. You know, all of a sudden that gap's down to 11, and 11's still a big gap. You know, it's still 4 wins, but it's an awful lot closer than 17, that's for sure. So it gives us a chance. All we can do is just start winning football matches. You know, we're going to need a little bit of a helping hand from other sides, that's for sure. Going to need them to drop points. You know, Manchester United won the other night against Spurs. The latest I seen were 1 up at Everton. You know, so we could do with sides up there starting to drop points. Hopefully we continue to keep picking them up.
I mean, the thing for us now is exactly what you said, Ando. We've got to start picking up points. And on paper, you look at Luton home today, you look at Nottingham Forest away next week, and Bournemouth home the week after. You would say that's 9 points. That's a great opportunity for 9 points. The only Achilles heel is all 3 of the buggers have beaten us already this season, which tends to cool the heels just that little bit. But I mean, you've got to look, if we are going to make an impact on that top, on you, then you've got to look for at least 7 points from those games and probably 9.
Yeah, look at it. Realistically, if you're going to make a charge, you've got to be beating Luton, you've got to be going to Forest and winning, you've got to be beating Bournemouth here. You know, not being disrespectful to those sides, but you've got to be looking to take, as you say, a minimum of 7 points from those 3 games to give you any opportunity. We said that a few weeks back when we went to Luton, when Forest came here, and all turned us over. So, well, I think we've got our mojo back a little bit, you know, from watching us the other night. I think the spirit's always been there. I think the legs have gone a little bit, you know, that high press, that real high intensity. But all that was back the other night. Hopefully we can continue that on today.
I mean, as we stand here today, before the kick-off against Luton, this is a huge period for us and a reason to be optimistic after Villa, because we've got those 3 games, then we've got Arsenal, yes, a toughie, but then we've got Blackburn away in the FA Cup to get in the quarter-finals. And when you consider that Blackburn are a worse championship side than Sunderland, and that's bloody saying something, and we pissed all over Sunderland. So, I mean, you would think that we can get into the quarterfinals of the Cup, and if we've got the points from the league in the meantime, and we're in the quarterfinals, the season is still very much alive.
Yeah, look, you've been involved in this game an awful lot longer than I have, John. You know, you've seen, you know that confidence in football is a huge thing. And winning football matches breeds confidence, it breeds belief. Now if we were to win today, then win again next week, that belief grows and grows. The cup game, you know, people are saying, oh, it's away again, but for me, it could have been an awful lot worse. You know, I think the gap between Championship and Premier League is getting bigger season by season. I think that was proved when we went to Sunderland and never really got out of sight here. You know, we didn't have to do a great deal to win that game. So I'd have no fears going to Blackburn. The draw could have been an awful lot worse. You would have preferred it to have been at home, of course. But I don't think it holds any fears going there at all.
We could have had with Manchester City and Liverpool away, so I'll settle for this. And the good thing, John, is that our away form has been Achilles heel this season. It was terrific last season, but we've now won 3 away on the trot when you go Villa, Fulham and Sunderland.
Yeah. I mean, earlier in the season we'd only won the 1 game, you know, and that was Sheffield United when we put 8 past them. And it wasn't just the fact that you were getting beaten away from home, it was the performances as well. The performances had to be great. But all of a sudden, as you say, you put 3 on the bounce away from home. And the manner of the win at Villa, you know, I think gives you a huge amount of confidence, a huge amount of belief going into the rest of the season.
If we look at today now, John, to go on, Ross Barkley, who I thought was gone after his great career at Everton, 33 England caps, big transfer to Chelsea, but his aim gone down there, he's 30. He looked as if he was on the slippery slope, but he was touting for the club, managed to get one at Luton like Andrews Townsend, and he's done terrific. He can be a problem in the middle of the field today.
Yeah, he was the best player in the pitch when we got beaten down there. He ran the shop, you know, he dictated everything for them. He looked like he was back to the player everybody thought he was going to be. You know, when he was at Everton, he looked like he was going to be a real top player. But like a lot of top players, when they go to Chelsea, everything seems to go wrong for them.
Yes.
But he's got the loot. Looks like he's got his hunger and his desire back and his love of the game back. As I say, when we were down there, he was absolutely brilliant. And if you stand off and give him pace, give him space, he can pick a pass. You know, the boy can play the game, there's no doubt about it.
I mean, just looking at, you mentioned it tactically, John, they play with direct, with two big boys up front. That causes problems. But you would hope that, I mean, we've got a lot of Johnny Green giants at the back. When you think of Bachman, when you think of Shaw, when you think of Byrne, that if they're aware of the two, i.e. they don't allow them to run off the back of them, height-wise, we should be able to deal with that threat, shouldn't we now?
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, we're a big side, you know, one of the biggest sides in the Premier League. The back four is absolutely, you take Trippier out of it, Trippier looks dwarf compared to the other three across that back four. But yeah, we should be able to handle anything that's sent in there in the air. You know, Dan Bourne comes in off that left side, goes and attacks stuff in the air. Yeah, you're not going to beat him in the air. Botman's a big unit as well. You know, he's no shrink of violent, and Sher can handle himself as well. So yeah, if you can handle that, hopefully with the quality that we've got in the side, and again, not being disrespectful to Luke, we've got far more quality in the side than what they've got. So you handle that, you win your individual battles, and then you go on and you win the game.
My one worry team-wise today, John, is that if we have to go in the game without Isaac, and the official line is we'll wait and see, that's always the official line, we'll know an hour before kick-off. But if we went in without Isaac in the starting 11 and Callum Wilson not yet ready to start, we've got to go in with a false 9, which is Gordon, and I mean, what a good player, but you miss him out wide if you're playing centre forward. And he's not a big time finisher like the other two can be. That would be a concern for me. Do you think we might see Isaac, or would you be very surprised to see him?
I think if you've done your grind on a Tuesday night, you wouldn't expect to see him on a Saturday. You know, I mean, and what they said after the game was that he's got a grind problem. Now, if he's pulled his grind or had a little tear in his grind, there's no way in the world he's going to be fit today. You never know, because they never come out and say, well, he's going to miss this or he's going to miss that, you know. Would it surprise me if he played today? Probably not. No, it wouldn't surprise me. But if he does, look, I just think Gordon, Murphy, Almiron, the pace they've got will bother the Luton defence. You know, you get it down the sides. And Almiron the other night when he came on in Villa looked so much better on that left side. The ball he put in for the goal that didn't think about it, did he? You know, he's just got it there. He wasn't thinking about coming back onto his right side. He just went bang. Whereas he plays on that right side, everything comes back onto his left side, which kills your Isaacs and your Wilsons when they're making that runs. So he just doesn't natural on that left side. So yeah, even if Isaac's out and Wilson's not there, still feel positive about there.
And there's some talk that we might see something of Harvey Barnes off the bench today. That would be a big plus. I mean, I've almost forgotten what Barnes looks like, bless him. Wasn't seen it for that long.
Yeah, I mean, we're slowly starting to get people back. You know, obviously, talk that Barnes to be on the bench today. Wilson's not too far away. Willock seems to be the one that's still concerned about.
And Anderson.
Yeah, Anderson's out. Looks like he's out for a while as well. But
but they're slowly, surely starting to get one or two back. All of a sudden, he looks at his bench now, he's got one or two options on, which he hasn't had in the past. You know, when it has been going right, he's got kids and he's got 3 goalkeepers on the bench, so all of a sudden, you get one or two back, you've then got options to change it. It's not going well.
I mean, when we come now to result time, I mean, regardless of the line-up, and I am concerned about the centre-forward situation, that might determine the number of goals scored, but perhaps not the result. I mean, I'm going to go 2-0 Newcastle, regardless of who plays up top. The rest of the team will pick itself, I think, that goal.
Yeah.
What do you expect?
I think it'll be tough. I do think it'll be tough. I think Luke will be physical. Watch them down there just before Christmas. They've got good work ethic, good energy about them. You know, they're honest. They lack that bit of quality. Apart from Barkley in the middle of the park, who's a real good player. After the other night, I'm going 3-0. I think we'll win 3-0.
That'll do for me 2-0 or 3-0. Guys, do have a lovely afternoon. Get yourself a drink. It's nice and cheap and nice and lovely. So make certain you enjoy it here. Get up to the pub, support the boys, and we'll see you in a fortnight when we play Bournemouth. God bless. That's the Gibbo and Ando.